Welcome to Scorched Earth. This is going to be a mid-month reading for the sign of Capricorn, Sun, Moon and Ascendant. They're much shorter than the general readings for the month because they're designed to be more of a kind of energetic check-in, see what's going on with you, what's coming towards you for the rest of February. So yeah, if there's any information that you're after, have a look in the description box because the chances are I put it in there already. Yeah, let's have a look. I'm going to pull 3 cards for where you are right now, your energy, and then another 3 cards for what is coming towards you for the rest of the month, and then 3 cards of advice, see if we can't, ease the way for you a little bit. So I have 3 cards for Capricorn. First card is the Ace of Swords. I like that. 2 more cards for Capricorn, please. King of Cups. And the King of Swords. Interesting. So, Capricorn. I'll get the obvious things out of the way. You might have a couple of masculine energies around you. And I say that because it doesn't have to be men, they can be women as well. It's just the masculine presentation of the energy of the suit. You could have a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio masculine energy around. By that I mean it's much more active. It's not receptive like the queens are, like the feminine energy. Or an Aquarius, Libra, Gemini around you. But if not, and if this is your energy, which I feel like it probably is, this is a really good energy to be sat in, Cappy. The Ace of Swords talks about truth. Right? For me, quite often it talks about your own truth. It's about understanding something about yourself, possibly. But it talks about clarity. Right? Clarity of thought, clarity of expression, being able to see things for what they really are. And that's usually been, gifted to you by the universe, a flash of inspiration about something. There can be new ideas as well, that kind of thing. But it's paired up with the King of Cups and the King of Swords. Now, the reason that I like this is because the King of Cups is somebody who is able to sit in his emotions, right? I'm using gendered terms only just to keep myself, right with it. But take it as it resonates to you. It doesn't have to be a man, it doesn't have to be a woman. Tarot doesn't care, right? This is somebody who sits in their emotions. And they're really solid, right? They're sat on this stone throne right here, and the waves are kind of sloshing around and all that kind of thing. But they're not in any danger of being washed off their perch, right? They can sit in their emotions, they can acknowledge them, they can be surrounded by them, but they do not dictate how he moves, right? Because he doesn't have to move, he's there. So it comes to mean somebody who is emotionally available, somebody who is open to, making decisions about emotional things with a great degree of clarity, Which is not to say that he's, a big emotional wreck. It's not like he wears his heart on his sleeve necessarily. It's that he has a true, profound understanding of emotions, and he can use that to make the best decision for his court, for all of his, dependents. And it's a great gift to be able to do that. But paired with the King of Swords, this is somebody who has great intellect, reason and logic and all of those things. He's quite often the king who understands emotions but puts them to one side in order to make decisions. So the pair of them together is an energy of somebody who understands their emotions, is sitting in their emotions, and is able, I feel, to straddle the line between the two and pay exactly the right amount of credit to each side of what they represent here, emotions and feelings and all that kind of thing, but also logic and reason and intellect. And think about them in a way that is very clear. right? And that can be expressed very clearly. Because the King of Swords is a master communicator, right? He says what he means and he means what he says. He understands what he feels. This one, right? It's quite an internal energy, and this is an external energy, right? Water is feminine, air is masculine, I think. Fairly certain. And then you've got the ability to be able to communicate that to other people. It's a really strong position that you find yourself in, Cappy. I like it. So, what's coming towards you for the last 2 weeks of February? What's coming towards Capricorn for the last 2 weeks of February? Ooh, the Empress. I like it. That's your energy. I usually say Taurus for the Empress, but it is Earth. What's coming towards? It's really funny, that's the first card that came out in that position for Sagittarius as well. I don't know if that's relevant if you're dealing with a Sagittarian. I just find it interesting that that card should have come out there in the same place. Whoa. Two of Cups, like that. Oh shit. Right. The three cards that you've got are the Empress, the Two of Cups, and the Six of Cups. Now I'm going to get the really flaming obvious out of the way and then look for a different interpretation, because this isn't going to apply to everyone. But the Empress is all about fertility and abundance. She's about the birthing of new things into the world, right? And there are a number of cards that when they appear with the Empress can indicate a pregnancy, certainly. And it's possible to see the Six of Cups about that, you know, because a lot of people interpret that as children. And this is, you know, with a relationship slap bang in the middle, right there. It is possible that what's coming towards you is, you know, someone that you're in a relationship with either coming to you and telling you that they are pregnant, expecting children, or you find out you're pregnant. You know, take it as it resonates to you, right? Because quite often the Empress is depicted as pregnant because she's about the birthing of new things, right? That's a very obvious, very 3D kind of thing. If it's not, it's possible to see it as a soulmate relationship coming in, right? One that is actually going to be incredibly fruitful, not necessarily in a, you know, firing out babies kind of way. This is a great creative energy. Obviously, she's in charge of creation, literally, but it can be creation of anything, you know. It could actually be a new job, something like that, but combined with these two cards here, I think it's probably less likely. The Two of Cups is a relationship of some description, and it doesn't have to be romantic, right? It can be platonic, it can be work colleagues, it can be friends, it can be siblings, right? It's a meeting of minds. It's two people coming together and being on the same page about something and driving forwards to create something new off the back of it. And for me, the Six of Cups talks about the past, right? I don't leap to children for this. And that can sometimes be like a nostalgic view of an old relationship, you know. It can sometimes refer to an ex and stuff like that. But for me, it's very much the soulmate card. So when these two cards come up together, right, there's a soulmate bond here. And like I said, that doesn't have to be romantic. That can be, you know, a new friend. That can be a new business partner, actually. You know, you can be soulmates with business partners. But you share a vision and you're moving forward. And it's going to create something really rather wonderful in the world. And that could be a new business. That could be, you know, all sorts of things that aren't necessarily romantic. So bear that in mind. But it's going to be a very fruitful pairing in whatever sense that happens. and this is what's coming towards you, which is lovely. You know, I like that. I approve very much. I have 3 cards of advice for Capricorn, please. 3 cards of advice. First card is the 3 of Pentacles. The 8 of Pentacles just flipped there, and that's about, it's about hard work, but it's about mastery. That's the word I always think of when I come to that card. Advice for Capricorn, please. Knight of Wands. One more card for Capricorn, please. Excuse me. One more card of advice for Capricorn, please. It's the Star and the 4 of Wands have flipped there. There's more credibility to the soulmate interpretation. But Queen of Swords. That's really interesting. So, on the bottom of the deck here, we've got the Hierophant. That's the card of Taurus again. So there might be a Taurus who is involved in this somewhere. But it talks about hierarchy, and it talks about you know, situations where you've got like one person at the top and then, you know, people below. So it can quite often talk about business, but it can talk about established structures of any kind. So it can talk about marriage, things like that. By which then it comes to also indicate, in a broader sense, commitment, right? So bear that in mind. That's the shadow card, which is like a theme underneath the entire reading. But what we have here as advice is quite interesting. We've got the 3 of Pentacles, we've got the Knight of Wands, and we've got the Queen of Swords, which means that we now have a pairing on the board. We have the King and the Queen, right? The King is your energy, right? This is you being able to think very logically about a situation right here. But then we've got the Queen down here. I'll get to why that's interesting in a second. The 3 of Pentacles talks about working together with someone to create something new. We see in a theme here, right? Usually it's like there's a mason and some sort of kind of cathedral arch that he's working on, and it's being overseen by like 2 monks. It's people working together to create something solid that will last for a very long time, right? This is in your advice section. Excuse me, not very well at the moment. And because it's Pentacles, it's your energy, so it's something that's kind of, it's slow, and there's a kind of predefined series of steps that you cannot skip to do the job properly, right? They have to be done in a certain order. But I find it interesting that this one here is alone, right? And for me, this particular card then always talks about starting something by yourself, which other people will then kind of come into the mix when you've hit a certain point. Like she's sat and she's saying she's doing things. She's got 3 pentacles down by her feet. She's already done, you know, a bit of the work. It seems like maybe you need to start something first, and other people will come on board, right? And we've got the Knight of Wands, and there are lots of different ways of interpreting this card, but the one that comes to mind immediately is take the opportunity, right? There's an opportunity coming towards you, and like the Knight of Wands, you kind of have to leap on it when it comes, because that's not your first inclination as an earth sign. You know, the Knight of Pentacles is your knight, and that's a very slow moving, very methodical kind of, you know, he'll get there the slowest, but he'll be there, you know, with the most stuff still in his saddlebags, like the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Swords quite often will have lost things along the way, and they will have, you know, missed details about the journey because they're traveling so fast. And usually the Knight of Pentacles is the one who will have taken it all in and documented it, and, you know, all that kind of thing. But you're being asked to be a bit more spontaneous than usual, right? If an opportunity comes forwards, something perhaps that you need to work on yourself first, take it, jump on it, be spontaneous, be fiery, be like the fire. Hey, don't let this wander past. And then we come to the Queen. Now, the Queen has a kind of harsher energy about her than the King does. So the King of Swords is like quite a kindly old man who's very, very wise and stuff like that. And the Queen is very wise too, but she kind of cuts shit out in a way that the King doesn't. It's almost like the court cards filter all the crap. By the time you get to the King of Swords, there's no crap for him to need to cut out because the Queen's already been there and done it and cut it. I'm going to pull another card, even though I don't usually like to do that for these. But there's a sense of you not only having to think logically, but having to think very carefully about things that need to be cut out in order for you to be able to take these new opportunities to work with people. Right? And this could be, it could be something as simple as disregarding somebody's opinion on something that might have previously coloured your direction. Certainly would have been taken on board. You're being asked to do that a little less. Why is the Queen of Swords here? Well, yeah, because Ace of Pentacles, that's your energy there. You're starting something new. Something new is coming into your energetic sphere. And it's possible that other people may try and dissuade you from it and stop you being able to leap on the opportunity when it arises. We get one more card for the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, and there's the Fool at the bottom of the deck here. Like, that's a brand new start right there. It's uncharted territory. It seems like you're being asked to commit to a certain course of action, which is moving a little faster than you are comfortable with, and that you would ordinarily choose to indulge in. But the Queen of Pentacles with the Ace of Pentacles here, like, it seems like, that's two queens there, right there. It seems like cut out the stuff that's bullshit, the stuff that doesn't serve you, the stuff that's not interesting, the opinions, the judgments, all that kind of thing of other people. Cut that out. Remain fair, conduct yourself with great integrity, but keep your eyes on the prize. And the prize is the Ace of Pentacles. The prize is this opportunity that's coming towards you that you need to think logically about and see that you need to push, jump on it straight away. Because this Queen of Pentacles here, your queen, and in fact Capricorn, strictly, what a shining in there. It's like good things are going to come to you because stuff comes to the queens. The queens don't move. Right? It's not a game of chess. Look how she sat on a throne there. She's beckoning people towards her. Right. Same with this queen here. She sat on a rock. All the big things are coming to her. This opportunity is coming to you, and you will be able to sit back and receive all of the good things that come with that, provided that you don't let the opportunity slip past you. Possibly you might need to do a little bit of groundwork, and if this reading is relevant to you, you probably understand exactly what that is, in order that when this comes along, you can bounce straight away. And you should take some heart from that, because that's Capricorn and groundwork. That's good. That's a good pairing. Do your groundwork so that when the opportunity comes in, and for me it's coming, it's definitely coming, bounce. It's like Tigger. Right. So I'm going to leave it there, and I will see you in I don't know, like a week or something for the March generals. Okay.